Yeah, every day that's you and me. All day that's us, boo. Came through with that new thing. See, I don't know why I trust you. Crazy now, I'm just too on. Maybe now I'm just too gone. Maybe now I'm just looking for that same vibe that you on. Cause I'm out here with my boys, going crazy in this bitch. Overseas, getting Benz, no Mercedes in this bitch. We made the album 9 months. Had a baby in this bitch. I'm with your babe on the run, like I'm Jay-Z in this bitch. I don't smoke a lot, but I get green. But ball out, no SBs. I caught you out, you got served with that beat stop, no step team. I came through and that's real shit. No, Nova came, but I feel this. Feeling kid when I feel banks. I still be spitting that Will Smith. I shut it down, we do that. Hell yeah, we knew that. Little girl gave me them crazy eyes. Orange is that new black. Black cold out, so I think about it. Trust me out, so I drink about it. They talk a lot, but it's all good, so it's too real. Don't think about it.
She take me out of my place, but I stay in my zone. Look me right in my face. She can see through my soul. I said, don't think about it. I said, don't think about it. She took me out of my place, but I stay in my zone. Look me right in my face. She can see through my soul. I said, don't think about it. I said, don't think about it.
So, I don't know if you're watching this live or refresh. How's everybody doing out there? That's pretty good. I am, I don't know, I was chilling and I felt like streaming. So, here I am. And I don't know. I'm open to talking about politics, but that wasn't really the point of this stream. I just wanted to talk about anime today. Why? Because I like anime. Anime's cool. It's what I like to do in my free time. Is watch and read anime, watch manga. I don't know. I think it's pretty fun. Anyways, I don't know how people like leave these things on coming soon for like half an hour. That seems a bit ridiculous to me. But I don't know. I'm just not that type. So, I mean, I guess I understand why people do it. Pays the anime bill. Exactly. Hey, Kaga sound. Haven't seen you in here before, but if you have and you just haven't said anything, or if you did say something, I just haven't noticed it. My bad. But thanks for checking me out. This should be a really chill stream. I'm just gonna talk about shows I like. Probably watch a couple of videos. I saw Totally Not Mark started doing a Naruto review, and I think that would be really interesting to check out because I like his content a lot. And we will just kind of go from there. If I had to say, whenever I think I got into anime basically for the exact same reason. Well, maybe not the exact same reason, but like my story seems pretty typical in as far as like people go. I don't know. I grew up watching Power Rangers. Power Rangers was like my first love. And then from there, I ended up getting into, I wanted something more. Oh, that's cool. Well, either way, I'm glad you're here because it's nice that you just come and hang out with us sometimes, or with me sometimes. I think I got into anime just like most people. I got into Power Rangers really heavy, And from there, that was my thing. And I kind of got into Digimon and Pokemon. That was obvious route. Yu-Gi-Oh. At the time, I didn't know any of these things were technically considered anime. I thought they were just different kinds of cartoons. I don't know. From there was a transition into Dragon Ball Z, which I thought was the greatest thing to ever be brought to the world. I think a lot of people still think that, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I always just thought it was really interesting. The idea of action being a part of cartoons, the idea of the fights being so well drawn out, people dying. Like, these were adult cartoons to me, which, I don't know, which kind of transitioned into getting into Adult Swim, watching Yu Yu Hakusho, Inuyasha. What else were they? There were other ones. There was Full Metal Alchemist. I didn't really care about that till later, but you get the picture. Anyways, these were, at this point, I'm like 10, maybe 11, 10 or 11, and I figure out what anime is, which, yeah, like, it kind of opens up a new path for me. I'm like, whoa, this is the whole thing. And this was also around the time that, like, we ended up getting internet in my house. Because people having internet, like, isn't as, like, common. Well, even 10, 15 years ago wasn't as common and standard as it is now. And we had dial-up. We didn't even have Wi-Fi. But I ended up going online and finding all of these shows that I really like. Oh, yes, Zatch Bell was one of them. Like, all of these shows that I used to watch on Toonami, I ended up seeing, like, oh, crap, there's an entire sort of endless world of this. And I say all that just because, like, it really started what has become for, like, a real lifelong passion, which was really different for me, especially being, well, maybe not especially so, but if you ever had a conversation with someone Black involved in anime, they'll probably have a similar story about it not being super accepted early on and having to transition. What's up, hedge fund manager? I am alive and kicking, actually. Do I have a black screen? That's really weird. The stream is showing me as awake right now. Can y'all not see me? That would be really weird if you can't. Yeah, Naruto was Naruto was the big one. That's crazy if y'all can't see. But yeah, Naruto was the big one. Naruto made me, I don't know, like, it was so different. I was like, wow, this is ninjas. Like, I didn't even think that was a possibility. And this is kind of a really interesting trend. Well, I guess this is a pretty good transition because, like I said, there's a YouTuber called Totally.Mark. I don't know if y'all have seen him or not. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. That might have been your end, or maybe it wasn't. I have no idea. I didn't touch anything. I literally just been chilling. But yeah, that's a pretty good transition because I want to watch his videos because I have this thing. I like watching other people talk about anime or talk about things that I grew up with or that I'm experiencing now. So I'm going to pull up his video and we are going to watch along. Hold on a second. UFC. I watch championships. I think it's fun. I'm not as in depth in the sport though. Like, I'm more basic. I watch I watch more like NFL, NBA, college football. But I like UFC and I like boxing too. I'm just not like super invested in like knowing every fighter. Like, I know the big ones, but I definitely like it. Let's see here. I'm gonna be like doing some level of comedy, but
This video is sponsored by Raycon. Having grown up in Ireland in the late
Mostly
1990s and
probably
early
just me
2000s,
watching.
shows like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Sailor Moon, and of course Dragon Ball were widely available and accessible. And since then, I've made it my mission to catch up on all the most iconic stories I missed growing up. One Piece, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Hunter x Hunter, and Attack on Titan. All brilliant stories in their own rights, but before I ever heard of One Piece, and long before I ever turned on that first episode of Attack on Titan, I heard whispers of a certain show. A story that was making noise across the pond in the US, one that cast a shadow so large it managed to stretch all the way from Japan
I
to
know, right?
my home.
Oh crap!
Where I grew up, we never got Naruto. So, let's see if I missed anything good.
I have no idea. Oh, okay, this is the cover. I was curious. I was like, Twitch will probably not like that.
I gotta say, right off the bat, picking that first volume up off the shelf felt terrific. While I knew very little about this story outside of the main character's name,
Look at this
Naruto,
manga
and
collection.
that it's for the most part about ninjas, I was without question acutely aware of one inalienable fact: that this was a beloved franchise, a story people massively identified with, and that it too has its detractors.
Naruto is fire.
Sounded very
It has
much
its
like Dragon
issues,
Ball
but
to
I feel
me,
like it
so
gets too
while
much hate.
picking that first volume from my shelf, I was filled with a giddy enthusiasm I hadn't felt in years.
Oh,
Finally,
appreciate
after all
following.
this time, I was reading Naruto, and I liked these opening chapters. but I
Appreciate that,
didn't
bro.
love
That
them.
like means
In
a lot,
fact, I
'cause
found them to be
as
a
you can see,
little
I don't have many
unfocused,
followers.
if that makes sense at all. But don't worry, this video has a happy
So I
ending,
F with
so
you for
sit
that.
tight. For me, first impressions are important because you only get one chance to make them. In that same vein, the first paragraph of your novel, or the first chapter of your manga in this case, needs to perform a host of different tricks not only to hold your attention, but to also introduce you to the main character and the wider world the story is set in. And of course, there are different ways to go about performing this narrative somersault. One Piece took an approach.
Bro, the drip in Naruto initially, like, I think that's another thing people don't talk about. Like, Dragon Ball Z had his drip too. I'm not even gonna hate. But like, as soon as you see the way that they dress in Naruto, it's like a whole game changer. You're like, oh, okay, these dudes got swag. Swag that like I can't even necessarily grant to One Piece, which One Piece is my favorite piece of media in the world, but like, I don't know, like,
Adequately
animation style,
representative of
I gotta
what
give
would later be
Naruto
recognized
credit.
as Oda's style. A comprehensive and intensely powerful character-driven story built on the back of Luffy's ambition. Hajime Isayama's Attack on Titan 2, I think, had a near perfect first impression on the audience it was trying to reach, establishing its nail-biting premise, the motivations of the main characters, and giving us a taste of the wider world's politically driven infrastructure. I knew I was in for an action-packed political drama the likes of which I would never forget.
Attack on Titan?
Yeah, first impressions are important.
Bob
They're what dictate
Pope,
whether
my
or not
guy.
many people
What's going
will
on,
give
man?
a story their attention in the future, particularly when it comes to manga. They're released one chapter at a time after all. It's not like a movie or a book where the rest is right.
I promise y'all I'm not gonna pause as much once it kind of gets rolling. I'm just trying to like have open conversation. Why One Piece? It's almost impossible to explain. Like it really depends on if you've watched or read One Piece before. Like One Piece is One Piece is such an in-depth story on like characters and on their characters and the world. Like it does something that other shows don't do. Other shows, like a lot of shows, have power-ups, which is fine in and of itself. Like I like a good power-up too, but One Piece has character development outside of power-up. Like it has it has interesting motivations. It has historical references. It has a lot of political references. It attacks. It hits your emotions in a way a lot of shows don't. And I just have like a deep connection to. Oh, up to 150. That means you've seen. You've seen enough to. I mean, maybe it's not for you. Like, don't get me wrong. I think One Piece gets better as it goes on, but if you've seen Arlong Park, which I'm sure you have by 150, and you don't think that's an interesting story, if you don't feel like that's like it was something that was that deep to you, or not that deep to you, you thought it was something that was really good, it's probably just not for you, that's fair. It's not for everybody, but to me, it's my favorite piece of media, like movie, anime, play. I don't even watch plays, but like One Piece has a very particular place in my heart. Not bad.
Right there for you to digest, and because of this fact, many manga begin their stories with a much longer than average first chapter to establish what they want. And given that Naruto is still one of the most successful mangas to ever be released, I was surprised by its introduction. The pacing felt fast, almost too fast. I will say, though, that it did a decent job at establishing the heartbeat of Naruto's journey, with him effectively being the outcast of his community. Armed only with a burning desire to become the next Hokage, I enjoyed that aspect of it. Seeing Naruto struggle with his lessons felt appropriate, hearing about his dream felt intimate, and the success he finds at the end felt adequately cathartic for a first chapter. Helped enormously by Kishimoto's fantastic artistic abilities. I mean, that 2-page spread of the one-time screw-up Naruto performing a fantastic clone technique was given pride of place, and rightfully so. I can still picture that stunning shot right now as I speak. There's plenty I've taken away from this first chapter that I liked, and it was certainly enough to encourage more reading from me, which, I mean, is sort of the only job it has, right? However, along with these impressive aspects to the opening of the story, so too did it come with some, I don't want to say negatives, but it did leave me scratching my head a little. The character of Iruka is given a lot of focus in this first chapter. I can see what Kishimoto might have been going for here, with him acting as a useful individual, close enough to share intimate moments with Naruto, but far enough away to vent candid frustrations for us as an audience to understand. Within this first chapter, he existed as a vehicle to deliver information to us about Naruto, and yet, when I finished it, I didn't feel particularly close to Naruto, but instead, Iruka himself, due to the amount of time we spent with him. Which might not be a bad thing, but certainly wasn't what I was expecting, nor was it, I think, what Kishimoto was aiming for.
It's crazy how, like,
there's an
little
enormous amount
relevance
of
Iruka Sensei
exposition
ends up
revealed
having
in the first
show.
chapter alone. I would argue far more than is even necessary to make that hook at the end of the first chapter work. Thankfully, however, as the first few chapters drift on by, I started to feel the story catch its stride through the introduction of 2 crucial characters. I immediately liked Sasuke. Not only did I find him well conceived and conveyed through these introductory chapters, but I also found him to be exactly what this story needed. A rival character. A rival character, while having his own goals that often conflict with the main character, exists primarily to highlight the significant differences between himself and the main character, in this case, Naruto. By being a prodigy, top of his class, and sought after by Sakura, Sasuke represents everything that Naruto isn't and what he yearns to be. And in being such, also facilitates terrific contrasts that highlight Naruto's greatest attributes, his unflinching desire to never give up and his roaring passion to achieve his goal, to become the greatest Hokage that ever lived.
Right.
While a character like Sasuke is nowadays, for lack of a better term, cliche, I am a firm believer that oftentimes creative choices become cliches for a reason, because they work. He comes across as dark.
Everybody likes Sasuke more. I mean, I get it. Sasuke's really cool, but I don't know, maybe I was the only person who didn't initially like really connect with the Sasuke archetype of character. But that's because I've never been into the anti-hero to begin. Well, I'm lying. I don't know why I just told that lie. I do love the anti-hero. I love Vegeta. I love Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho. Yeah, I love anti-heroes. I like Killua. Andrew, what up, bro? Huh, you not into anime, but you watch good content? I mean, yeah, like I said, it's not for everybody. It's just I think it's an interesting media that you can do a lot with. But Yeah, I don't know. Sasuke just didn't connect with me.
Serious and single-minded in his one
I like
existing
Naruto.
goal, to kill a specific individual
I
that
like
wronged his
underdogs,
family
too.
in the past, which is great as it not only gives him a want or desire different from the others, but it's also perfectly emblematic of his no-nonsense personality and embellishes his already strong contrast with Naruto's much more light-hearted persona, helping us to better appreciate Naruto's strengths while highlighting his weaknesses, the latter of which developing into an aspect of the story that drives so much of who Naruto is as a character. In essence, I see Sasuke as the perfect foil for Naruto in this story, all of which can be observed after our introduction to another character in Sakura. This one was interesting, and while yes, in a fun way, not always so. Going into this, given the time this story was released, I was relieved to see that Sakura wasn't being used for fan service. If you like that sort of thing, more power to you, but it's never been for me. In the same way I don't like mindless action, I similarly don't care much for mindless over-sexualized characters, male or female. My favorite aspect of her character is how effective she can be as a comic relief. Often
Bro, Rock Lee is my favorite character. Honestly, like, don't get me wrong, I really like Naruto, but like, I think Rock Lee would have made Rock Lee could have been the main character for me, and it would have worked. Shikamaru was also like a ridiculously interesting character. Like, if the team, forget this main team, if the team was Rock Lee, Shikamaru, and crap, what is his name? Crap, with the other eyes. Not like Rock Lee's rival. I can't think of his name right now. I would have been completely fine with that. Like, the story works. If Naruto's team was still in the story, but they were the side characters, or they were if they were side characters, I would have been fine with that. I'd have been completely cool. But
times she's shown with massively over-exaggerated expressions of anger and joy, which I thought added some variety to the mix. Furthermore, from a narrative mechanical front, if we lift the hood on this metaphorical narrative car, we can see that she's clearly and currently depicted as less of a character and more of a mechanism to bolster Naruto and Sasuke's
Neji,
respective roles
yeah,
and
absolutely.
encounters.
No,
which from
wait.
a utilitarian
Yeah,
perspective
Neji,
is not
absolutely.
only fine, but exactly what Kishimoto was looking for. She is a supporting character to Naruto and Sasuke, and without her, these two would have
Neji
very
could have
little
been
reason to interact with each other at
I
all,
would replace
thus
Sasuke
making
with
her
Neji.
instrumental not only in making Sasuke effective in his role, but also by extension responsible for making the main character Naruto shine. She is, for all intents and purposes, the catalyst that makes all the magic happen between them in the beginning. Take, for example, Naruto and Sasuke's first ever interaction in the manga. Very early on, there's an unrequited love triangle established between Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke. Naruto is interested in Sakura, Sakura hates Naruto, but loves Sasuke,
hey,
and
it's good,
Sasuke
Bob.
loves...
We know what you're talking about.
But my point is that without Sakura acting as a connective tissue, so to speak, between Naruto and Sasuke, Naruto would never have grown a jealousy for the attention Sasuke is
Sasuke.
receiving from Sakura, and therefore
Disgusting
this
black
would
preacher.
never have happened.
Get away from me.
And what a shame that would
Hey,
be. I don't want to
yo.
live in a world where this scene doesn't exist. This was the first moment in the manga that made me burst out laughing, and to be honest, mangas don't do that often for me. So she's a great tool for comedic hijinks too, which I appreciate, but to be clear, her primary directive, at least in these early chapters, is to facilitate this narrative sleight of hand time and again throughout this arc. And it works in both directions. However, this doesn't excuse one glaring flaw I've noticed, and it's probably one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to character writing. She exists to serve other characters and little else. Her
Dang, he
existing
already
goals
calling
are
her useless.
selfish, certainly, but the fact that I would have zero idea what sort of person she'd
I don't
be
even think
like
Sakura's
if I were
useless,
to remove
wait.
Naruto and Sasuke from the equation
It's sticky.
really serves to highlight my point at this stage of the story. I mean, there's a scene where these three kids get to introduce themselves to each other, a terrific mechanism for us as an audience to get to know them better. Naruto's intro is quirky and fun with a fiery ambition clearly present. Sasuke's is appropriately dark and serious. But Sakura's is literally her saying that she loves Sasuke and hates Naruto. That's it. Funnily enough, she's about to start talking about her other hobbies when Kishimoto decides that that's a good time to cut to Kakashi, making note that she seems to care more about love than ninjutsu. Which brings me to my main contention with her as a character. Her very presence sort of devalues the entire social structure and reputation of the school Naruto struggled to gain acceptance to. At this point in the story, she barely says anything other than wondering where Sasuke is or how annoying Naruto can be. Naruto does have a large interest in her, an interest that at points in this arc drives him to make certain decisions, but he's still able to have other
romantic.
interests
Yeah,
and
there is
driving
no like
forces in his
real.
life
There's no
outside
healthy
of that.
romance.
His main motivation is to become the next
Even Naruto and
Hokage,
Hinata
that's awesome.
isn't healthy.
Absolutely
Like
something I can
Hinata
get
is like
but if
Naruto's
all
backup
he wanted
option.
to do was to chase Sakura.
Hinata's
that would
almost
be
like a
much less
stalker.
interesting. In short, I respect what she offers the story in
But
terms of
I
quality,
get it
but
if that's
as a
not what you
character,
want
I
as
not
part of your
only
story.
find her quite
It's just
vapid,
weird that
but
you
I also
include
found
it.
that at times her inclusion tends to devalue what it is they are trying to achieve. But perhaps it's still early days and I haven't given her a chance to fully express who she is as a character and what she really wants.
Yeah,
to
bro,
be
she's
fair,
smart.
she is standing alongside two very well realized characters. And speaking of contrasts, when I picked up Volume 2, the cover brought to my attention something rather interesting from an artistic point of view. Front and center on the cover we see Sakura, Sasuke, and Naruto. A fairly standard cover considering the contents of this volume concern them specifically. However, in my Hunter x Hunter review, I eventually pointed out what made Gon and Killua were thoughtfully designed characters from an artistic point of view. They acted as a great inversion of colors in the manga when compared to each other. But Kishimoto takes that to the next level with these three. To complement Naruto's upbeat and fiery personality, he's given him bright, vibrant orange and yellows everywhere. For Sasuke, his dark and more stoic personality lends better to darker tones, but what makes him particularly wonderful is only seen in the full color. I mentioned that Sasuke is a wonderful rival character because he effectively contrasts and complements Naruto's personality, amplifying his effect. Well, if we look at a color wheel, we can quite clearly see what the opposite or color complement to orange
Basically,
is.
Naruto ended
It's
up with
blue.
Hinata because like
Sasuke
Hinata
dons
wants
a
me.
wonderfully dark
Which don't get me
blue
wrong, it's
getup,
nice to be
communicating
wanted.
his darker
Like that
sensibilities
is a positive
and highlighting what he
characteristic.
represents to the main character
see
Naruto,
nothing else
a
that they
contrast. But my friends, that's
have for
not
each
where
other.
this ends. I mentioned before that Sakura is sort of the connective tissue that brings these two into contact. In many ways, she acts as the midpoint between the two of them. Naturally, she's going to be colored red to represent her main driving motivation, love, and the word Sakura directly translated means cherry blossom, so pink is a natural inclusion here too. But one look at the color wheel again and you'll notice that pink and red are exactly halfway between orange and blue. In other words, she is right in the middle between Sasuke and Naruto. I love stuff like this. Well done, Kishimoto. School's back, and that means
that was
many hours of
intentional.
painful studying for many of you. I may be long past school, but all this narrative analysis
I
requires
respect you, bro,
alleles
but I'm
premium,
I
so that
skip.
they'll be good to go.
We ain't watching
If
your
you're not
ad.
happy with them, you've
ナルトカードゲーム集めろ
Truth be told, by the time I reached Chapter 8, I was a little tired of the current format. This first third of the arc, while it did have elements I enjoyed like the schooling with Kakashi and the various challenges he presents them with, I still felt like the narrative of Naruto and, most importantly, what people liked and loved about it wasn't translating clearly for me. School is usually a surefire way to create instances of hijinks and conflict, but truth be told, there wasn't a lot of focus given to it. The best part was the Bento Box challenge. Seeing Sasuke work his magic and show how much better he is than the rest was exactly the reassurance I needed to confidently press onward into the second, third, and fourth volumes. And thank God I did. I believe Chapter 9 and 10 were where I went from being undecided about this story to sincerely enjoying the experience. When reading and reviewing manga became my job, I felt grateful of course, but also concerned as now a hobby, my one-time retreat, suddenly became my job. And oftentimes in this line of work, I've found psyching myself up to read a particular volume of manga to be difficult. And with the first few chapters of Naruto passing one after the other, I felt as though I might be facing another wall of manga I simply have to get through. But nothing could be further from the truth with this. Chapter 9 is a glorious chapter that, while exposition heavy, also carries with it a palpable and natural rising tension. I've often said in the past that pressure, more so than conflict, gives the audience a chance to see who the characters they're following really
Pressure
are.
builds
And
diamonds
to this
and bursts
chapter's
pipes.
credit, it delivers just the right amount of exposition to build up to 2 payoffs in both this chapter and the next. Something that's very important to me as a reviewer is that I connect with, on some level, what the author is trying to say, and nowhere is this more crucial than with the main character. Having come to know and love the likes of Goku, Luffy, the JoJos, and numerous other wonderful characters over the span of my life, I was deeply concerned, particularly after the rocky start, that I wouldn't connect with Naruto. But I think I see more of myself in this little character than any of the others. While I love the simplicity and grit of Goku and the kind but tenacious edge to Luffy, there's something about Naruto that defines his character that I find infectious. Doubt. He will work his hands to the bone, walk the soles off his shoes, and work until he collapses to make up for what he perceives to be defects or flaws in his own approach. He recognizes that he's not the most intelligent or the most talented, and we're shown as much thanks to the character of Sasuke. And so, being faced with that reality, he only knows how to put his shoulder down and push himself. He has aspirations and he wants to prove to himself that he's more than what everyone thought he was. And in chapter 9, I learned this about him. Having been almost killed, freezing at the first sign of real
Naruto
danger,
is
he's
motivational,
forced to
bro.
contend with the fact that Sasuke was ready and he wasn't. And that
Oh my god! Like, this is like bringing back a level of some like emotions I hadn't even thought about in a long time. Like, I might need to go back and rewatch part 1 Naruto. Like, Naruto was so motivational. He offered a level of motivation that, like, again, One Piece is still my favorite piece of BTU. But like, Luffy started out strong. We knew Luffy was strong from the jump. I mean, Dragon Ball, Goku had been really strong. Yu Yu Hakusho, like, Yusuke had been strong. Like, all these characters we know had been strong. Naruto was one of the first, but like, new trope. It became a trend of like the underdog story, and Naruto really made you feel for, if I just keep going, like, I can like build off of this. But yeah, that probably is why he's so successful. I mean, I was like, Mark is, I mean, I think he's honest, but he understands that people like really enjoy these, people really enjoy these stories. Like, the people who's gonna watch the videos really likes the stories. So he wants to hear you, like, the average fan wants to hear you say really nice things about it. Yeah, Mob Psycho, which, crazy enough, I know what Mob Psycho is. I haven't watched it. And that may be my next watch. That literally might be what I do tonight. Is end up watching Mob Psycho. I forgot I was supposed to watch that.
maybe.
But yeah, the appeal to this is like, I think he'll be honest enough in his criticisms, but I don't think he's gonna say anything too bad about a show, because the people, like I said, the people who click on these videos like the show and they don't want to hear you like talk down about it.
Just maybe, those naysayers from his village were right. And seeing that frustration bubble beneath the surface of his expression was amazing to sit and read through, particularly because it readied us for what was to come. One final thing I really enjoyed concerning Naruto as a character in these chapters was how Kishimoto decided to splice in the exposition to influence how we might feel about Naruto as a character. After stabbing his own hand in frustration and determination not to become a burden to slow people down, Kakashi notices how fast he's healing. From the beginning, the nine-tailed fox spirit trapped inside Naruto has been a source of all his longing and suffering. He's been made practically a pariah since that fateful day by everyone in his community, and now Kishimoto wants us to believe that the only thing that makes Naruto special is his nine-tailed fox spirit. If he does anything bad, then that's to be expected. He has the fox spirit after all, and if he does anything good now, then it too can be chalked down to that very spirit he's infused with. But in this chapter, when faced by the mounting pressures around him, instead of freezing like he did last time, he looks to his hand as a reminder, plants his feet, and stands up to someone that just took out his teacher. an impressive, elite-level ninja. I don't know what the prevailing narrative concerning Naruto is online, what people's feelings are towards him, but what impresses me about his character isn't the ability he was able to bring out just in time to save the day, but it's the bravery and determination he showed in the face of a situation we know he was scared to tackle. It wasn't the action that preceded it, it was the decision to take that action in the first place. And all of this was helped enormously by the artwork. It should go without saying at this point that these chapters are filled with wonderful action of numerous varieties, within which I finally felt as though I was starting to understand Kishimoto's rhythm as a layout artist. And that rhythm being, when he's at his best, he catches you off guard. He sets something up only for it to be observed by the elite ninjas, and for them to reverse it on us again and again and again. It's a wonderfully quirky style of paneling that infuses wonderfully with the very concept and theme of the story being told. I've said this before, but I love these types of visually interesting and conceptually simple training exercises or challenges for characters. Stuff like Snake Way, moving a boulder, climbing a tower, or in this case, climbing a tree. Climbing the tree using chakra is a really fun and visually interesting idea for the premise of a chapter, but what I really liked about it was how as soon as Kakashi mentioned this element, the chakras, as something that if one can master, then nothing is beyond them in terms of jutsu, a panel is dedicated specifically to show us Naruto's expression, and it says everything. I can tell that to him, to have that question answered would mean a lot. The exercise in action is a nice bolstering of what I mentioned earlier about Sakura. Where Sasuke exerted too much force and Naruto too little, Sakura hit the sweet spot right in the middle and climbed the tree without the use of her arms. In addition to this being a nice visual and narrative reminder of what she represents to the two characters in question, it's honestly nice to see her exceed in her own unique way ahead of the other two for a change. That is until one page later where Kakashi says that the pools of untapped chakra concealed within Naruto and Sasuke make Sakura's look like nothing.
That's disappointing.
Concerning Sakura, there is one scene I really enjoyed her participation in, however. With Sakura having already completed the challenge, climbing their respective trees became a head-to-head challenge with Sasuke miles ahead of Naruto. Through this, obviously, it's wonderful to see him slowly catch up. Again, not necessarily because he's more talented or a prodigy like Sasuke is, but because he was willing to ask for help and take the advice of someone like Sakura that was successful before him. Something Sasuke never thought to do. It's a small moment, but it once again made use of the two supporting characters in a clever way to amplify the desired effect of the main character, Naruto. In the beginning of this video, I was lukewarm on this story. I felt as though it was a little unfocused or unconventional, which made it difficult to latch onto and fully enjoy for me. However, slowly, chapter by chapter, scene by scene, as we advanced farther and farther into this story, I grew a fondness for this world and its characters. Unlike stories I've covered before, Naruto was different for one reason. Right from the get-go with Hunter x Hunter, it was clear to me it was a dark, dramatic, character-driven story first and foremost. The same can be said for One Piece with its strong focus on world building. Perhaps more so than any other story I've read, Luffy's adventure hinges on its world feeling alive as well as its numerous colorful characters. Attack on Titan, on the other hand, was driven by its premise early on, and Dragon Ball by its comedy and action. But when it came to Naruto, I was left undecided for quite some time. I couldn't figure out what it was that made it so special to so many people. It had some terrific action, endearing comedy, an interesting world, and as I've outlined already, some nicely realized characters in the likes of Naruto, Sasuke, Kakashi, and even Sakura to some extent. However, at no point did I feel like it was balanced to favor any one area of those over the other. That was until I reached the final encounter of this arc. When it came to the closing moments of this arc, within the final chaotic battle pitting the likes of Sasuke and Haku against each other, and Kakashi and Saruza too, it felt as though I finally began to understand what it was that Naruto was especially focused on. And I have to say, it feels rather unique to Naruto. Something I've mentioned a number of times in this video has been that of who I think Naruto is, and one of the many reasons why this scene depicting Naruto, lost in anger, strikes a chord with me is that it once again draws a distinction between who people think he is and who he actually is. It feels ominous, dark. Couple that with Kakashi making mention that he can't feel Naruto's energy, and you have for yourself something that more closely resembles a possession than a convenient chosen one type power-up moment. Erupting forth from Naruto not because he summoned it, but because he specifically didn't. Losing control of who he is for a split second, allowing that demonic spirit coiled within him to spring forth with savage and reckless intent. And what stops him in his tracks?
は大切な何かを守りたいと思った時に本当に強くなれる
Why did they make Haku a boy? It's like I don't even know what that was
The
for.
second that power vanishes
That was
is
weird.
the moment
He
Naruto
just
regains
wanted
his sense of self. Strangely, what I thought this scene shared some commonalities
to make
with was Avatar: The Last
teenage
Airbender.
kids
Within the
crush
first
out
few
over a
episodes,
boy
Aang's
for a little
confronted
while.
with the horror that took place in his absence once he arrives back at his air temple. Faced with this
Wanted us
shock
to be
and
sexually
disarray, he
open-minded.
loses himself to the Avatar state, thankfully brought back before he could hurt anyone by the loving embrace of Katara. In Naruto, similar to Avatar, it's being made evident that the fox spirit inside Naruto isn't him necessarily, and instead what makes Naruto who he is, similar to Aang, was his ability to control himself before he hurt someone he cared about. And this sentiment of constantly wanting to try to never give up and to control whatever you can makes itself known at numerous wonderful instances during this story, none perhaps more powerful than through Inari's flashbacks. Naruto not only feels an obligation to help people, but particularly those that he sees himself in. Perhaps because he's a good person, but also perhaps these lost toys more so because he empathizes with their
Oh my
situation
God, I remember this
specifically.
song.
With Haku and Inari acting as two sides of that Naruto coin in a sense. Inari thankfully had someone in Naruto to instill a positive outlook on his situation, leading to his eventual and fantastic save at the end. But on the other hand, we have someone like Haku, a character with an outlook so disastrously unfortunate and tragic that it's almost difficult to accept that he has so much in common with our main character Naruto in the first place, with his untimely and frankly harrowing end coming moments after this heart-to-heart. And through this horribly sad end to a fantastic battle, something inside my head clicked. I mentioned towards the beginning of this story that I found the start somewhat rough around the edges, unfocused and ill-defined. However, now, having completed the first arc and having gotten a taste of what this story really is all about, this story, Naruto, feels perfect as a story penned by Masashi Kishimoto. At the beginning of the very first volume I picked up, Kishimoto wrote a short paragraph thanking us for our support of his dream. Overjoyed, he wrote that this was the happiest moment of his life. Unlike Akira Toriyama, someone he admired and looked up to, Kishimoto's path to success wasn't as straightforward. Nothing seemed to come easy to him. Time and again, he'd face rejection after rejection at every corner, all in a desperate attempt to achieve his dream of one day breaking into the manga industry. It's not difficult to see the parallels he's drawn between his personal experiences
People got
and
like
the
the
beginning
leaf
of
symbol like
Naruto's
tattooed
story.
on their
The
body
journey of a young
forever.
unwanted orphan
so
child
interesting.
tenaciously and earnestly pursuing his dreams, despite his detractors,
Influenced
and in no
like a
more fitting
generation.
or poetic a fashion, together both Kishimoto and Naruto help each other to achieve their respective dreams. Speaking as a creative myself, one of the biggest difficulties in my professional life has been my family's initial disapproval of my vocation. But at no point could I ever see myself doing anything other than this. I love my job. Exhausting and stressful as it may be at times, I love this. And I think that's why I tend to fall in love with characters that have a strong sense of self above all else. Characters like Luffy, someone that no matter what it takes will, in an unflinching fashion, march onward towards his goal. It's inevitable. He will be the Pirate King. Or Goku, someone I found a lot of comfort in as a kid growing up. To him, nothing ever seemed insurmountable. He was never scared. And to this day, the effect this moment has had on me can be felt. Naruto, however, isn't like
One Piece
either of
definitely
these
deals
two.
with
He's me. You.
If anything,
us.
One Piece handles
He's that kid that has a
trans
chip on his
characters.
shoulder, something to prove.
Hold on, I'll
someone
calm
that
down
doesn't know
after
for
this.
certain if he
Wait there.
will achieve his dreams, but god damn it, he's gonna push himself until he cannot push himself any further. It is for that reason, among so many others, I can't help but root for Naruto when he fights for his dreams, and it's why I've developed a special fondness for Kishimoto's story. It's still no Dragon Ball, Hunter x Hunter, JoJo, and certainly not a One Piece. But it doesn't have to be. It's Naruto. It's Masashi Kishimoto pouring his heart out, and it's created
Interesting,
something
Nathan.
that, at least to
It's
me,
pretty good. I
feels
mean, it's not-
entirely
again, it's not for
different.
everybody, but
it's something that was unbelievably special to one person
lot
in the
of people
beginning, and became
really, really
special
like
to
this.
millions around the world today. And I think, finally, I understand that feeling. And it's only the beginning. I can't wait to see where this earnest, endearing, and emotional adventure will lead me. But until then, I've been Totally Not Mark. I'll see you all next week. And thank you so much for watching.
Hey, that was really good. I have no idea what Appleseed is. Huh. But so you've seen all of those, but you skipped Naruto, one of the big three. That's interesting. But yeah, Bob, like One Piece I guess deals with trans people very directly, but in 99% of cases, like, it's really bad. Like, there's like a group of people called Okama, which are just like, I think, which translates to like queer people, which I'm not even sure if I can use that word on here. I have no idea. Well, it's been said, but yeah, it's pretty bad. They view them as strictly cross dressers, which is a thing. Like, people, cross dressers are a real thing, but like, I don't know. I think I don't think that One Piece does a great job with trans people. Outside there are a few good ones. And it doesn't make, like, they're not always jokes. Like, there's some really interesting characters who like fall into this, but just the way they design the characters is not so great. Makes it outside of a few in the more recent arcs. But yeah, Nathan, that's Oh, and the village in the leaves was a symbol for acceptance. I've never thought of that. I don't know what yeah, I mean, maybe there's some, like, maybe that's accurate, but I just, my brain doesn't make that connection. But that's just because I haven't thought that deep into it, like, on what leaf is like symbolism for. Yeah, that's true too. Cowboy Bebop is another classic. I don't consider, like, it's very different from Naruto, but I don't know. Shippuden is strange in the fact that it's a really different story from Shippuden, like, what, it's not really a different story. Like, you get some level of, like, character growth, I guess, from people, but it seems the character growth outside of, like, Sasuke seems mostly in strength. It doesn't seem they don't seem to grow that much in, like, personality and like development, which is can be kind of disappointing. But I don't know. Yeah, Shippuden has a lot of issues in it. Tragic. Yeah, that was really good. There's another one, but I'll probably end up watching. He has, like, I guess he's done the second video of the series, but I'll probably end up watching it, like, later on my own time. I'm not gonna bore y'all. Ooh, Demon Slayer. I was about to say Demon Slayer is, yeah, Demon Slayer is new. I mean, I've heard horrible things about the ending, but I don't know the ending. Everything right now about it, like, about that first season, was crazy. So anything with Jujutsu Kaisen is also, like, a really good new anime. I'm glad that, like, there's a lot of I'm glad that, like, we're doing good at making new anime right now. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of 90% of it's bad, but what's good is, like, really good. I like Log Horizon too, but that's because I like the whole, like, video game ancient world niche. Village Hidden in the Leaf is the only ninja village that has multiple families and styles. I think Ladder on the Sand Village even points out and says diversity is a strength. Interesting. That's probably true. Yeah. No, I don't know. It's like I said, what you said is true. I just haven't. I guess I never really thought about it that way. Gun rights are minority right. Facts. Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen, like, yeah, they didn't reinvent the wheel. It's not like the new most interesting thing I've ever seen, but yeah, they do so many things really well. Um, something else I would recommend, like right now, as a show that I guess isn't necessarily doing anything new, but doing something. I guess they're taking something and doing it better. Is Mushoku Tensei. Mushoku Tensei is for y'all, for anybody who has heard of it, hasn't heard about it. It's basically like they call it like the grandfather of Isekai, which is like the transport to another world, and it's like an older story because I've read the manga on this, which is not done, but I got into the manga before the anime was a thing. But what you always want something? Come on. All right. Anyways, it's about like yeah, Mushoku Tensei. Yeah, it's about like being reborn in another world, and what makes it different from every other like garbage isekai out right now is that it doesn't just explain things away and yada yada through like situations. The animation is ridiculous. The story is pretty captivating, and they like I said, everything makes sense. Like nothing doesn't have an explanation for why, which is something I'm really into. I want to know my whys. What? Okay. Star Wars anime? No. Crazy enough, and this I feel like we was bonding here, and I'm about to f all up all that good faith. I don't like Star Wars. I don't know why. I've seen all of them. I think I don't know. Maybe like the newer ones are like okay-ish, but as an overall like series, I'm just not a fan of Star Wars. I couldn't get into it. But I think I have an issue with sci-fi as a whole, maybe. I don't know. I can't prove it. It just kinda it's just never been something I've been all that into. I'm also not that big into Harry Potter either, which is crazy. Like I think Harry Potter is probably better, but and the thing is I'm into the fantasy. Like I like fantasy. I should like Harry Potter, but it just never yeah, it never attached to me. Star Trek. I didn't get into Star Trek. I've literally never seen an episode of Star Trek. I know it's got Scotty beat me up, but I have no idea the story of Star Trek. So Star Trek may actually be good. I don't know. But I just never got a strong attachment to the sci-fi side of things, so it wasn't something that like drew me in super heavy. I do like what do I like? Crap, I'm sure there's stuff I like. I like Lord of the Rings. I like the pirate series, like Pirates of the Caribbean series. But Yeah, not that much into Star Wars. What is Sonny Boy? Is that new, Kaka? I'm like the name. It sounds familiar enough. Like I'm pretty sure it's an anime, but I don't know exactly what that is. What? What is wrong with you? Star Trek is about a socialist utopia exploring the universe and making peace with anyone who wants it. Huh. Okay. No, I may have to check that out whenever I run out of stuff. That's the thing. People say that Star Wars is sci-fi, but really it's not. It's actually just mythology or fantasy, as it doesn't take place in a known universe and isn't based on normal science. Okay. Dang. I'm really having with this. Y'all giving me a lot of like new recommendations or old recommendations and stuff to like check out. I don't know. What do you do, Andrew? Because like I said, I respect not being in the anime. It's not for everybody. Are you into like media in general? Like, do you F with movies at all, or like any type of media, or do you, or sports, or is you just in it for the politics? like what's fun for you? But yeah, Kaga, I'm gonna check that one out. I don't know. What Ooh, my movies. So okay. So now I gotta ask you, Goodfellas or Godfather 2? Which do you prefer? Because it says a lot about you. Both excellent movies. No. There's a lot of good mob movies out there. Carlito's Way. I mean, the Sopranos series. I guess that's not a movie, but that was a very good choice, Andrew. Goodfellas is my favorite. I mean, I think it's most people's like peak of like the mafia movies. Like I think everybody acknowledges that Goodfellas is like peak fiction. Let's see. What am I missing? I've only seen. Really? So The Irishman was that good to you? It like topped your list? I'm crazy. I don't even think I finished The Irishman. I made like 2 hours through. I still probably have like an hour left that I need to go watch. I thought it was good. Like people gave it a lot of negative reviews, but I don't know. Like from what I watched, it was good. I don't know why I haven't finished it. Really? That's kind of crazy. Yeah. Do we count American Gangster as a mob movie? I have no idea. Like technically it's a drug dealing movie, but it feels like a mob movie. Hmm. Actually, now I have to look up a list. Let's let's do a list. Um, oop, tab best mob movies. What would they have? What would they have with John Wick and Roadhouse as a part of mob movies? That feels weird. Casino? Yeah. Scarface. I don't know why I didn't think of Scarface. Obviously, Scarface. Um, yeah, Donnie Bosco. Absolutely. Yeah, Gangs in New York. I for some reason I haven't seen The Bronx Tale. I've heard about A Bronx Tale. I haven't seen it though. Mm, Boondock Saints. I've seen that. Most of these aren't even um mob movies. Maybe IMDb will get it better. The Departed. I mean, The Irishman is already considered top 10 by this list, so it must be good. Heat. Heat is like a robbery movie. I wouldn't consider Heat a mob movie. But a good movie. I don't know. I bet. I didn't want this to become a mob stream. It was just I was about to say, Andrew brought up something that I hadn't thought about in a while. I like movie I like Scarface has its ups and downs. I think we have to like place movies in eras. Um or like and understand what they did for the time that they came out. Cuz sometimes like I don't know. I feel like some things like break the box or like go outside of the box in a way that like we have to respect for its era. And I'm not just a mob movie fan. I'm a media fan in general. That's actually like I can appreciate any type of movie or um yeah, any type of movie done well, like or series that is done well. I'll probably like it. Some people are like just in the action or just in the drama or just in the comedy. I'm very all over the place. Don't worry, don't get me wrong, Andrew. You ain't got to be done. Like we just this just chat. Like which is why this kind of became which I think it'll be interesting. I think I do want to talk about media more. Like I may we may even start doing some tier lists on different types of media, like tier lists on mob movies, tier lists on um I don't know heist films, like where people are stealing things, anime tier lists. That could be really fun because I've seen a lot of different types of media, but I don't want to take away from the people who we're talking to. Like I said, this. It doesn't mean we have to stop talking about anime if that's what y'all came here for. Just haven't watched certain things. I mean, like I said, people have things that they're like really into and things that they're not into. I enjoy media. I would never want to make a media, but I enjoy like the consumption of fictional movies and TV shows. I actually don't like documentaries. That doesn't mean I don't respect that some are done well, but I just can't get into nonfiction work personally. But my girlfriend loves documentaries and loves watching like reality shows and things like that. Which I guess, like I said, they're I mean, you know, she likes it. I watch some of them with her. There's some that I think are better than others that I watch with her. Is like time spent together, but it's not really for me. Have y'all watched what are y'all's like favorite? I was about to say, because we're getting closer to the end of October, what are y'all's favorite Halloween movies? Like, do you have any movies that like either from as a kid or now that you like to watch around this time of year? I think I'm gonna play some music. Is it follows Is it follows scary? Like scary? I really that's actually me and my girlfriend. We've been doing 31 Nights Halloween, where every day this month we've watched like something Halloween related. And I felt like I've had issues finding really, really scary movies to watch for my nights, and that's what I'm looking for. I want something, I don't know, like I keep hearing reviews for things, and I don't think there's that many really scary movies, which sucks. And I used to hate horror movies. Yeah, I mean, I do. We already did Nightmare Before Christmas. I think Hocus Pocus is a big Halloween movie. I was about to say, if you used to watch Disney growing up, then Halloween Town was always cool. I haven't seen The Big Short. Is The Big Short a Halloween movie? Actually last night was The Witch. That was my I had never seen it before, because I also have a hard time rewatching movies like outside of this. I like watching newer things, and The Witch was creepy, but it didn't scare me. And I know that jump scares can be really cheap, but I think they can also be really well done. Like I believe that the first two Conjuring movies are very scary, like both in lore and in like increasing your heart rate. I think that some people like hate the concept of jump scares, but I think that like they can really make a movie. Same thing with Sinister. I think Sinister is generally a really scary movie. We haven't watched that one yet because that's one of the bigger guarantees. I haven't seen The Void. Would you consider it scarier than The Witch? Because like I said, The Witch just didn't. The ending was like really creepy and crazy, and the movie overall felt very dark, but it just didn't. It didn't hit me where I wanted the scare to be. Why do you watch that during Halloween, James? If I mean, don't get me wrong. This, I guess the recession was scary, but that's an interesting tradition. Yeah, that's what I got from The Witch. It was like creepy cult vibes. The Babadook is I heard was like to make was like a pretty low budget movie overall to create, but The Babadook is actually pretty scary. That's like I'll give that one credit. It's decently scary. I think I think Hereditary is terrifying as a movie. Like Hereditary is one of the, and not just scary, not just cheap, but like one of the like most well done horror movies I've ever seen in my life. It's Hereditary. Like the acting is on point, the development is on point. The jump scares are there, the lore is there. Hereditary hits on everything I want from a horror movie, but because it's so good, like it's one of few. Like I said, I think Babadook was really well done, especially for the budget it had. I used to love the Paranormal Activity movies. They used to be really scary. But like, I mean, yeah, we have there's a lot of stuff we watch that's like not necessarily scary, but just like season theme. Like is it like Nightmare Before Christmas? Like Hocus Pocus. We may end up watching Twitches. No, that's the new Pig movie. I haven't watched that yet. Is it good? Because I mean, I'm also open to anything that people think is like really good. I think A Quiet Place is another really good, well done. Like as a series overall is like really well done. A Quiet Place may be scarier in theaters because it's so loud. Like it's so quiet in between, but the loud moments are like a shock to your system. Bone Tomahawk. My girlfriend loves The Hill Has Eyes. She likes anything really, really gory. So, like, if it's like Hills Have Eyes, she'll really like it. Is I Am Foodie a movie, or are you saying that like I Am Foodie, like you're a foodie, like you enjoy food? Actually, I am going to okay. You just like you might just help me out. That may be our movie tonight. I'm still talking to y'all. I'm just gonna I think I'm gonna play the game in the background. Hold me get it. Oop. How do I? How do I cut off music? Or sound in general? Watch some trailers. Actually, that's an even more fun idea. Let's do that. I legit may end up going. Wait, can you watch trailers on stream? I have no idea. You probably can't. There's probably all types of music and stuff that you're not supposed to show on stream. That sucks. I don't know. I'll end up checking out some stuff later. My friend gave me whenever we were playing last, my friend ended up giving me a membership, and I've been trying not to be wasteful. So I'm probably the great Samuel L. Jackson into the chat. Thanks, you mother elf. Yeah. I don't be one of those weird people, like that, I don't know, turn everything into like business or whatever. But like, I was about to say, yeah, we have been talking about anime. We just kind of been, the people in here right now are people that I feel like I'm growing like friendships with, so we just kind of chilling and going over whatever. What are Samuel, what are oh, I know he didn't just try me. Okay, he walked off. What are some of the your favorite anime that you're into? Like I said, bring some up and then we'll just kind of like go over it. Kind of like, cause we're all just chilling, hanging out right now. I just got this stuff going on in the background. I need food. But yeah, like I said, I mean, don't feel like y'all have to type or anything, but I don't know if y'all are curious about anything and just want to talk about what y'all got going on. Because sometimes people just want to vent or talk about their day. Don't feel like y'all can. We are just chilling. And I am looking for food. I don't know how to play this game at all. I heard Angel Beats is really sad. Is it? Is that? Like, I don't know if that's a rumor, if I'm mixing it up with something else, but yeah, that's the, if you ask me about Angel Beats, yeah, that's the first thing I always hear is like, oh yeah, it's really sad. It's very emotional, which can be cool. I just haven't, yeah, I haven't seen it. And it sounds like my girlfriend is here. Hey. That was work. That's cool.
You not texting me?
Yeah.
I don't care.
No, that's my girlfriend. I guess it wouldn't be weird if it was my sister. Like, people live together and do regular stuff.
Like 6.
Huh?
I said like 6.
I don't know what you're saying.
I said like 6.
Oh, okay.
We do that.
Yeah.
Not if we just broke my sister. That was kind of gross.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Some brothers and sisters do that.
You're right. Oh, they said your makeup is nice.
Thanks. Follow me on Instagram.
Don't follow her on Instagram.
Yeah, follow me on Instagram.
Don't follow her on Instagram.
At Tatiana.
You're doxing yourself.
What does that
Eh?
mean?
That means you're telling people.
Too much information?
Yeah.
Oh. Don't follow me on Instagram then. Follow me on TikTok. That's a little less.
What up, Corey? I have no idea. I'm literally looking for food. Do any of these? This is a baker. Oh, this is a sandwich lady. I bet she sells sandwiches.
Or knives.
Let's see what you have. Let me drop some stuff. Now I need to find a bank. That's not my sister. Right? I couldn't imagine having like you ahead of me, Bob. I could not imagine having a child, like a little human being that I'm responsible for forever, and like I get no redos on. Like I'm just not allowed to let them die. That sounds crazy to me. I feel like no one should have that level of responsibility, or at least not me. But I guess it's something people do eventually. I get people have kids though. Like I get it's just a thing that people have. I just don't think I could. Well, I mean, I think I could have one. Being responsible for kids is one. What happened to my music? Okay, it was just a pause. Yeah, no, you're wrong. Like, I want a kid, because, yeah, like, I want to, like, put myself further out there in the world, but I don't want the responsibility of a kid. That sounds just, like I said, just terrifying. How about all your cakes, all your pies? Die. This is making me thinking about the Free Guy movie. Like, I wonder if these NPCs like do matter and do have lives, and I'm just murdering them. Sucks to be them, because I need to be stronger. I have no idea how to get back to where I came from. That sucks. I guess I want to go over here. I feel like I was empathetic before I kid, but now it's like a whole other level. When he does dumb things, I'm like, why do you do that? Then answer myself, because I have not taught him otherwise. That's so true. Like, babies have like mush brain, and they literally have nothing to go by. Like, it's things that we like expect of people to know better or do better on, and like, how could they possibly know or do better? From what point of reference? That's so interesting. Yeah. I'm basically just gonna let this run on neutral for a minute while I chat. Hopefully I get some levels out of it. They're weak. We pray every day. Gotta get these bones. When am I getting this? You right, Andrew. I do gotta get a streaming set schedule. I'm gonna work on that. That'll be one of my projects to figure out, so I can actually give y'all a better idea when I'm doing things. Yeah. Either way, get some rest. Have a good night, and we'll just kind of. I'll catch you next time. What did what y'all do? What was fun for y'all when y'all was growing up? Like, what? See you, man. I used to play the old RuneScape. My friends, well, one of my friends put me on, and it became like a really big thing for me. But I never did actually was never a really big thing for me. Like, I never did missions or anything. I just ran around and tried to be strong boy. Dang it. I can't say Avatar. Western cartoon. Well, it depends on the point in my life. Like, if you ask me what I got enjoyment out of, Ed, Edd n Eddy and Dexter's Laboratory would be really high on that list. I got a lot of like childhood enjoyment out of those, but I understand objectively that they're not like high quality pieces of media. But 10-year-old me didn't care about that. I just wanted to laugh and smile. Lucent Heart. I haven't played that many games actually. Like I wish I played more. Like I used to think like, oh yeah, I'm a gamer, but I'm really not. I'm a dude that plays some video games. I'm not get a chance to. Which is disappointing. Like I do want to get into more games now that I'm older. Like I was just talking about getting a new console. I just got my PC up and running, and yeah, I'm gonna. I don't know if I want to be a PC gamer. I don't know if it sounds fun. Right. I don't know. Let's see. What are... I mean, I guess I would have to say... I guess I would have to say Teen Titans. Not Go like the original. It was a really... I think the Teen Titans was like really, really well done. Same thing with Young Justice. Even though it doesn't have like the same market, like the same appeal for some reason. I thought Young Justice is like a really interesting show. I don't know. What about y'all? What about you, Bob? Oh my goodness, the Harley Quinn cartoon is hilarious. I've only seen like I think I watched like 2 or 3 episodes of it, but yeah, it's actually hilarious. I want to go back and finish that. Oh, I'm seeing a running theme with me starting stuff and not finishing it. Which I didn't think I did. I thought I was pretty good about finishing media I start, but apparently with some stuff I fall off. I mean, I think Rick and Morty, if we're going now to dope, like, does Rick and Morty count? Like, I think Rick and Morty, although funny, is also, like, I like the fact that it's not like Family Guy and that every episode, like, things that happen in episodes matter and that it's a continuation of a story. A lot of people don't respect it because they say, they do dick jokes, but I don't know. I think Rick and Morty is an excellently well-crafted show. You ever tried watching one of those videos on the Rick and Morty timeline? It's crazy how much goes into it. Yeah, Batman the Animated Series is also really well done. Even though not even crazily, I think Batman Beyond the Batman Beyond cartoon is like meant more to me personally than Batman the Animated Series. But I think it was just because I think Batman Beyond's character is based off of Spider-Man, and I think I was just a bigger Spider-Man fan than Batman fan. I'm sure that's probably got something to do with it. They're like too scared to attack me now because I'm killing them. Don't stop now. Keep that same energy. Oh yeah, Futurama is also good. Like I think Futurama unironically did like romance and love in a better way than like some like really serious shows I've seen. Like the development of the relationship between Fry and Leela felt so genuine. Is crazy. Like she had her initial emotions, but slowly but surely, like over time, Fry's consistency, like she weighed down, and then they started dating. Like everything about it felt really natural, and I don't know. I think all of those were some of that and the dog episode, which everyone knows the dog episode, are. I don't know, like to me that's like some like really peak media. Well, y'all really, you're really just not gonna attack me no more. Y'all good on me. Yeah, there's like they do their jokes, but yeah, they don't let the jokes come at the expense of the show itself. Which can be hard to do. Fine, I'll leave y'all alone since y'all ain't. I think there's some giants over here I'm not supposed to be fighting yet. But who gonna stop me? Yeah, it does kind of undermine the show. And then I think doesn't Fry end up seeing the dog in brother. Alright, night core. Actually, I should probably go ahead and end this stream. I'm probably about to do that depending on yeah, no, I'm just gonna end the stream. Pretty random, abrupt ending. Alright, Bob. I about to say, appreciate like just hanging out with me, talking about this stuff. I'm probably stream again probably sometime tomorrow. Hopefully, if not, then I don't. I do need to make a streaming schedule. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, and you have a